talked about Paul Wang. I've loved his watercolours for a long time. And you spoke about him, but you didn't say how you felt about his work. I mean, the things you said about watching him draw and paint were completely correct. That's exactly what they looked like, didn't they? They looked like he was being really awkward with that pencil and very deliberate with his paint. And his paintings, like, to me anyway, his paintings are like many accomplished watercolorists, especially urban sketching watercolorists. And when they're done, they look like they're effortless, like someone's just literally splashed paint across the paper, and this building has emerged, and it has so much vibrancy in the colour and, you know, interesting lines and stuff. But they don't look like they take much time at all. I love Paul Wang's work. I've been trying to find a video of him drawing, and there's kind of plenty around, showing his pencil on the paper, but what I wanted to see was him drawing, so I could see how often he's looking at the page and looking at the subject, because the clip that you had there where you saw his pencil line would sort of draw very dark, and he would kind of stay at the end of where he's drawing before he goes to the next line. It's almost as if he's not really looking at the paper, that he's looking at his subject and then looking at the paper and drawing it, or holding his pencil there while he figures out where the next one goes. I might be, and I'm probably wrong about that, but that's what it felt like. And I wanted to find a video to see exactly how he does it. But I did find one that a woman who attended his class at the Manchester Urban Sketches Symposium in 2016, I think, took. So there's a bit from his workshop there that you may not have seen, so I'm going to link it below. But I just love his work, and the intensity of his colours and the simplicity of his colours. He seems to really love and is very adept at using orange and cobalt blue together, and they make this wonderful cool colour that he can use for shadows, and that's a lot of what he's doing. And he's have a look again, he's letting those colours mix on the page, so every single time he uses them they're different every single time. But my thoughts on Paul Wang, especially, again, thank you for pointing out your observations, because I've never really given it a lot of thought watching his videos, just kind of really admiring his work, is that when I draw at an urban sketch event, for instance, I draw my scene and then I paint my scene, and I paint inside the lines I've made when I've drawn. So I'm basically colouring in, really. I don't like that about myself, but it's something that I always fall back on, because, you know, I just do what I've always done because it's comfortable. What I see Paul doing, when you mentioned that he looked awkward with his pencil and deliberate with his paint, is when he was using his pencil, it's almost like he's using the pencil to do the things that pencil's best at. So creating lines, but like delineating shapes, you know, and then suggesting. There was some windows and louvered panels on each side, or shutters. And with the pencil, he had given the indication of maybe 2 or 3 lines for the shutters, maybe the direction, bit of perspective, but he didn't draw in all the shutters. But then when he came across with the paint, he didn't do what I would do, which is like fill it in with colour, mix some colour, put the colour on the page. He then let the paint do what it does best, and he painted in some more of the shutters and dropped different colours. And I think what he's doing is he's letting the tools do the very best job for what they can do, and they both complement each other rather than just drawing boxes and filling them in like I do. I really love his work. Very, very confident, and he knows about about the outcome, you know. And thank you so much for the beautiful book, which is absolutely amazing. It arrived this morning, and Breaking the Rules of Watercolour by Shirley Trevena. So perfect book for me. Thank you very much. I would absolutely love to be able to paint like this. Let me find a picture. Just to be able to break out of that drawing boxes and colouring in that I do and be able to do that. To be able to do something like this, you know, and feel good about it. I mean, I look at that and love it, but when I've tried to do stuff like this, I find it hard to break out of my comfort zone and to keep going until it's done. So, oh my goodness, thank you so much for sending that. It's really generous of you, really sweet. Very sweet. And your mosaic foxwoods is gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. I love green and blue together, and then you've got those warm reds and oranges in the middle. It just all kind of pops. It looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's good to know that final step, you say, that sort of grinding it or sanding it and getting it nice and flat and sealing it. Oh, I can't wait to see the final product, but well done. It's beautiful. So you did your art challenge, which was beautiful. I don't ever want to hear you say that you're not a good drawer, because you are. They look like spoons to me. They look like cutlery to me. That was a hard art challenge. It was hard for a bunch of reasons. Taking everyday objects that you look at all the time is a huge challenge to your brain and your eye, because your brain goes, I know what a spoon's like, just draw the spoon. But when you look at them all like layered on top of one another, you really have to like really look. And so that was really difficult. It was also difficult because it was a bit boring, you know, to kind of put a pile of cutlery down and then draw it. Not particularly interesting, especially when you're only doing lines like we were doing. You know, your paint's not going to save you. You know, tubes of gouache aren't going to like help you pick out the shape. So it's difficult, and you're not actually meant to do it very well, and you did it really well. So never again, Mrs. Woods, are you allowed to say you can't draw, because you can, and not only that, you're good at it. And it was really interesting. Oh, we won an award. We won the Vice Chancellor's Excellence Award for Customer and Stakeholder Experience for streamlining and revitalising academic program web pages across 160 academic programs, creating user-friendly, I hate that term so much, creating user-friendly, attractive, mobile responsive and accessible design. But yeah, so we won an award, and I got mine framed because I'm very proud of it. So won an award. We had to go up stage and receive it, and very pleased with ourselves we are, because we worked really hard. We were nominated last year and didn't win, but this year we did. I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories. This is a program for the evening. And it was a very nice evening, and we're all very, very chuffed. It's nice to get some validation like that for our hard work, you know. And we're very proud of our levels of customer service and to our stakeholders. I think we do it a little bit differently than other projects at the university, and it works for us, and I think it's why we've achieved so well, so highly. So another thing I've been reading, well, it just came in the post, but Offscreen magazine, and I got this for a long time, and then I didn't get it, and then I think you probably reminded me of it. Anyway, I reordered it, resubscribed to it, and it arrived, and I thought, right, now Michelle, you have to read it, not just have it and put it on your shelf, not just flick through and look at the pictures, which are lovely, but actually read it. So I opened it up and I read the very first article is written by Gemma Mill, and she talks about unfounded. I can't say the word unfounded. I should really sort these sort of things out before I start talking to camera. But she mentioned something in here that was very similar to what I was talking, or we quite often talk about in our project, and that's about being a maintainer or looking after things once they're built, rather than being the vanguard or the bleeding edge or the innovators, being the people who actually look after the things that have been made, not keeping them in a perpetual state of stasis or anything, or pristine, that they were at point of manufacture or whatever, but to look after them and evolve them and keep them current. And of course we specifically think about websites because that's what we work in. It's our medium, words and video and images and code and alt text and things on a website. So it's about maintaining that, you know, because we've spent 2.5 years at the university creating this new website. We're really proud of, built it properly, thought about it, researched it, you know, and responded to our users. Now we're coming to the end at the end of this year of that project. I know we're still, you know, 6 or 7 months away, but you know, we're starting to think about what next. And it's about maintaining this website and how do we do that. And so it was quite interesting to read in Gemma's little intro to the issue 19 of Offscreen. This, which I'll just read to you because I loved it so much. I actually took a little bit of it and put it on michellepark.me. So we get so caught up in the idea of innovating our way to make the world a better place that we sometimes don't realise that the most effective way of doing is just to join an existing effort. Being a team player requires patience, perseverance, and proving ourselves. It means being an inconspicuous change maker rather than a trailblazing innovator. It means helping to nudge along an entire cruise ship as opposed to soloing in a one-person dinghy. I loved that line there, inconspicuous change maker. And we certainly feel in the big complex organisation that I work at that to make a seemingly simple change is very, very difficult because the machine is so huge. It has so many moving parts. I've lost track of how many interesting things mixed up with how many responses. But it's been lovely talking with you and to you, and loved your video, as I always do. I just loved them all. And I love you, and goodbye. I love you, bye. I love you, bye. Yeah, I love you, bye. I love you, bye. I love you, bye. I love you, bye. Look at the camera, Michelle. I love you, bye. I love you, bye. I love you, goodbye. Have a great week. Talk to you later. See you, smell you later. Check out my links below. I'm going to go and look at the beautiful pictures and dream that maybe if I read the book and pay attention, I might be able to break out of my colouring in watercolour tendencies. See you.